A way to change your circumstances to attract your specific person is start focusing on your desired outcome. Because remember, those circumstances, what that person said to you, okay, what they didn't say to you, is does not matter because it's just a reflection of what you have going on internally. Okay, so if you start focusing on, if you get yourself bogged down with all the circumstances and what they said and what they did, if they loved me, they'd show up this way. If they wanted it, they would do this. If they cared, they would do this. If they really wanted this, they would lock it down. Those words are creating what's happening in your reality. So any unfavorable circumstances that you are seeing, if your specific person wants friends with benefits, if your specific person doesn't want a commitment, if your specific person has a third party, okay, whatever that you have going on, whatever circumstances, it does not matter. And you can fix this because remember, it's just coming from internal state. But what you can fix this and how you can change it and get your specific person to give you everything, to give you that commitment, to adore you, to pursue you, to put you first, is stop being bogged down by the circumstances. Okay, stop that. When you focus on it, it's going to grow. So what you want to do is start training yourself to focus on the desired outcome. Okay, so you can do this by constantly having inner conversations, a mental diet. Okay, you can have this inner conversation, mental diet. You can visualize something. You can have inner conversations. You can say affirmations. But what you want to do is start going to the desired end that you want. Okay, so you want to be clear also on what do I want. So get clarity on what you want. Okay, be clear about that person that you want to attract, how you want that person to show up for you, what type of relationship you want. Stop focusing on those circumstances because you're holding them in place every time you focus on the circumstances. Start training your brain and getting in the habit, because you're thinking all day anyway, getting in the habit of creating that desired outcome. Creating those affirmations, those inner experience, inner things that you want to hear. Oh, my person loves me so much. I'm so adored. I love how much they love me. I love how they choose me every time. I love being their top priority. Okay, imagine them even saying that to you. Start practicing that. Get to that desired outcome more than focusing on the fear and the circumstances, and you will see a change in your reality. The only reason why it keeps showing up is because that's what you're focusing on. So start focusing on training your brain to focus on your desired outcome with the clarity, and the sky's the limit. Make it big, you guys. All right. Manifest what you want. Be pursued, be chosen, be loved, be adored. Start aligning with those affirmations, those thoughts, those visualizations, those inner speech. Live in that desired end. Okay, focusing on that desired outcome more than what you're focusing on the circumstances of what you don't want. Because remember, it's the law. What you focus on is going to grow and show up. So you don't have to believe this again. You just want to start focusing on what you want to create by taking your attention away from the circumstances and focusing on more of what you do want.
Now, ignoring current circumstances. This is always a big one because you say, well, how on earth am I going to ignore what is clearly right in front of my face right now? Right now, my specific person doesn't love me. They're not returning my texts. They don't want to have anything to do with me. What on earth can I do? Don't turn a blind eye to the current set of circumstances. You want to find acceptance in it. Think of yourself as walking up a staircase. Every single step is important. If you skip a step, well, then you don't get to the top. So you want to think of this current moment as being a step in the pathway of you reaching your desire. So if you reject this current moment, if you try to turn a blind eye to it, if you try to pretend like it's not happening, then all you're going to do is create a ton of resistance within you. You will no longer be in a free-flowing state, and you cannot effectively implement these new assumptions, these new ideas. You cannot effectively create the place that you truly want to be with this person, which is in love, having wonderful moments together, sharing evenings together, romantic walks in nature, on the beach, going to a coffee house, having fun, going out on dates. If you want all of this, then we need to accept the current moment as part of the learning process. Maybe there's knowledge, maybe there's important information that you need to gain a level of confidence before this relationship truly blossoms and truly flourishes. After all, you want to bring your best self to this relationship. So don't pretend like the current moment isn't happening. Yes, the current moment sucks. And yes, you are allowed to react to it. You can cry. If they made you feel sad, you can cry. The point is, you want to feel like this current moment, this set of circumstances are not permanent. So you never let any negative emotions carry you away. You vent them out, you find a place of healing, you find a place of acceptance, knowing that you can create better. So if this person hurts you, think about how they can make it up to you. Don't pretend like the hurt didn't happen and brush it under the rug and say, well, I have to ignore my current reality, my current set of circumstances in order to manifest what I truly want, because that's not exactly how life works. You're having a human experience. You can't just shun the fact that this happened. If you try to suppress it, it's just going to build momentum under the surface. So find acceptance in it, knowing that it's not the end result. The end result is where things are made up to you. Life is lovely, you are in love, you are happy, and things are going very well.
Another area to look at when we're looking at circumstances not mattering and how to change those are reminding ourselves that people are showing up and treating us based on our assumptions about ourselves, okay, in relation to that and what we think about them and what we think about our self-love and our worthiness and what we think about our value and what we deserve. Okay, so this is again where the inner work comes. These circumstances are being shown to you as a reflection to show you maybe I need to work more on my self-love, my worthiness, my conception of myself, of what I think that I deserve in a relationship. Okay, if you're attracting a specific person, it really starts with that believing in yourself, your self-worth. What are my needs? What do I want in that relationship? Okay. Stop putting that person ahead of you. Attract that version of somebody else that you want, of the relationship that you desire. And again, by not focusing on the unwanted circumstances, but focusing on the circumstances you want by putting yourself as the star of the show. Okay. You are worthy of your desires. Be clear on what you want. Work on that self-love. Work on that worthiness. Work on that self-value behind that. Because when you love and value yourself, you're going to radiate, okay, attractiveness. You're going to bring in that person. You're going to bring it in because you feel that confidence in yourself. And if everybody's a mirror and everybody's reflecting that back to you, you're going to, it's the law. You have no choice that they're going to reflect that back to you. Okay, so if there's circumstances, stop comparing yourself to the other people. This person's prettier than me. This person's smarter than me. This person's better looking. This person's richer than me. This person owns a company. Whatever it is, stop focusing on what they have. If in comparison, start focusing on what you have. Start giving yourself that worthiness. Start seeing yourself as somebody who's amazing, that doesn't need to change all these things about yourself. Self-acceptance, loving yourself unconditionally. Okay, that's what we're going to do. Stop blaming yourself for these circumstances that are showing up. Right? They're just a reflection to show you that you feel unworthy in this situation. All right, you can fix that because these people are just a mirror. The circumstances are a mirror of what you have going on, what you have limited inside of you, and you can change that by feeling self-love, by feeling worthiness, by accepting yourself, by working through that, by making those positive affirmations about yourself. Okay, in this inner speech and those inner conversations, you got to stop saying negative things about yourself, you guys. If you want to attract this person and bring them back in, regardless of the circumstances will change because you're selecting a different version of yourself. And it's when you select that different version of yourself, you accept the different things about yourself and stop focusing on your flaws and stop focusing on those circumstances, they're going to reflect that back to you. Okay, so let's work on that as well to change the circumstances so you can attract that person to show up as loving and adoring and pampering you. Okay, see yourself as worthy of that. Stop focusing on why you're not worthy of it. Again, start focusing on why you are worthy of it.
In order to effectively change your circumstances with your specific person, to get this person to be head over heels in love with you, do all of the things that I know you want so badly, you have to commit to that inner shift from within. You need to solidify the fact that circumstances do not matter. They do not have power over you. In fact, you have all of the power over the circumstances, but you have to make an inner shift. You can't say, well, I'll feel better once they're back. I'll be happy once we're together. I'll do such and such. I'll live my life to the fullest when this has happened. You need to embrace those things now. You need to put yourself first. This is what we refer to as self-concept, self-love, and this is what needs to happen, because in order to create yourself to be a vibrational magnet to this, you have to make that shift from within. To exist in the mindset, the feelings, the assumptions, what it would be like if this was a guarantee. And you could think of it as being a guarantee that it's happening or a guarantee that it will happen. Sometimes it's difficult to feel like it's happening right now because, well, a part of your mind is like, well, it's not. So then say, well, what kind of mindset would I have? How would I feel during the day? How would I feel about life in general if I knew that this was a guarantee? Like, for example, to admit that it's not here yet, but it's a guarantee that it's going to happen. And how would I feel? How would I act? What would life look like to me? Because when you have something and you have an experience, like having the love that you seek, or even having money or that perfect job or living where you want to, you are fulfilled in a way that you are not now. So you have to find that fulfillment already. You can't be afraid to skip this part. If you skip this part and you say, well, I will find that fulfillment when they're with me, they're never going to be with you. The circumstances are never going to change. So ask yourself, how would I feel? How would I be? How would I act if this was my reality or guaranteed to be my reality? Either one works, because either one will cause you to think and feel a certain way. So whatever you can get on board with will in fact bring about the results that you desire. So it is really that simple. That's what we call an inner shift. And you can feel it when it's changed because you just try to be the person who has it. And when I say be the person who has it, I don't mean to pretend that they're there, pretend that you're going to the movies with them, buy a second ticket, buy a second meal. Instead, you just embody the feelings the way you would think. You wouldn't be worried all the time, wondering. You wouldn't be checking in to see if you're still blocked. You wouldn't be checking your phone. You wouldn't be trying to get their attention. All of these things wouldn't exist. You wouldn't be checking in on them on social media, wondering if they've followed someone new. You wouldn't be spying on them. You wouldn't be doing any of this. You would, in fact, be so fulfilled and so wonderful in your life. You would feel the safety to be able to express yourself and live and be your best self. This is what you have to do now.
Before we start, I want to make sure you are in comfortable space, and I want you to suspend all judgments, doubts, and disbeliefs. I want your mind to be saturated with this meditation and new belief system. Be open to the new story. Be open to the possibilities. Shut off your senses and realize that you are going to create your new reality with this meditation and new story, and you will start seeing changes in your reality. The external world is a mirror of my internal world. I now understand the external world is a mirror of my internal world. Every day, I get better and better at reminding myself of this. Every day, I can remind myself that the external world is a reflection of my inner world. I will not allow circumstances to control me any longer, as I know I can change them at any point. They do not matter because they came from my own doubts, fears, worries, beliefs, and limiting assumptions. I forgive myself for creating these circumstances unknowingly. I forgive myself for my limiting beliefs. I forgive myself for my doubts, my fears, and my worries. I forgive myself for creating any unfavorable circumstances. I'm releasing these circumstances and creating what I want, as I am God of my reality. I am the creator. I am in charge. What I declare to be so will manifest. I call the shots. No one or nothing has power over me. I release all my negative attachments, stories, beliefs, thoughts, and feelings surrounding these circumstances. I know I can select a new story with my SP, one where my SP loves, adores, pampers, cherishes me, and chooses me. I see my worth now, and I know I'm worthy of my desires. I give myself permission for these desires. I'm always chosen. I love being chosen by my SP. I feel chosen. I'm always first. I'm always worthy. I forgive myself for creating a bad story. I'm choosing my new story, where I get what I want. I'm choosing the new story where I am the star of the show. I am choosing a new story where my SP is madly in love with me. I'm shifting into a new timeline where I get what I want, where my SP and I are in a deeply committed, monogamous relationship. I'm shifting into reality where my SP picks me every day and tells me how much they love me. I'm shifting into a new reality where the old circumstances don't matter. In a reality where my SP is constantly contacting me, showering me with attention, doting on me, loving me, and adoring me. I know I am perfect. I know I'm perfect how I am. I accept myself for who I am. My SP is wildly attracted to me and is so in love with me. It feels so good to accept myself. It feels so good to select a new story. It feels so good to select a new version of my SP. It is easy for me to accept myself. It is easy for me to release the old story. It is easy for me to choose a new story. It is easy for me to select a new version of my SP. I am really good at selecting a new version of my SP. I am really good at selecting a new story. I am really good at sticking to a mental diet. I'm really good at soothing my fears and anxieties. I'm really good at forgiving myself. I'm really good at suspending disbeliefs, doubts, and logic. I am so proud of myself for who I'm becoming. I'm so proud of myself for letting go of circumstances and shifting into a new timeline and my desired reality where my SP is head over heels for me and wildly attracted to me, and a reality where my SP is 100% committed to me. I'm so happy that I'm able to let go of the old story and circumstances. I'm so happy that my SP is showing up in a way that feels so good and that my SP is 100% committed to me and our relationship. My SP is so attracted to me. My SP tells me that, and he also or she also shows me that every day how attracted and in love with me that they are. I love watching the news story unfold in the most magical way. I love this news story. I love how it makes me feel. Don't miss part one of our collaboration on Veronica's channel. The description's in the link below.